Some people do not calm down when they cry, but they do when they take a shower. And the reason is not just to refresh, because the brain does not see water as an ordinary thing. For the human brain, water has meant survival for thousands of years. When our ancestors were scared, fleeing or tired, they would go to the riverbank, because where there was water, there was safety, cleanliness and a chance of survival. The brain still hasn't forgotten this. That's why even today, wanting to take a shower when you're stressed is no coincidence.
Because the brain thinks the danger has passed when it sees water, because there is a region in our brain called the amygdala. This region perceives danger, fear, tension, panic, anxiety. This is the first place to feel everything, and during stress, it's as if the brain is constantly asking, be ready, something is going to happen. But the sound of water, especially the sound of regularly flowing water, activates a calming system in the brain called the parasympathetic system. So, your brain switches to this mode. Okay, you don't need to fight anymore. That's why some people think for hours in the shower, because even when the brain is at its most vulnerable, it feels safe there. In fact, scientists have noticed this. Taking a hot shower can relax muscles and reduce cortisol, the brain's stress hormone. That's why sometimes you feel lighter after a shower. Even though the problem isn't solved, it feels like the burden inside has lessened, because water calms not only your body but also your nervous system. But the more interesting part starts now. Do you know why old memories especially come to mind in the shower?
Because during a shower, the brain starts activating its default mode network. That is, the brain withdraws a bit from the external world and turns inward.
That's why in the shower, an old conversation, an embarrassing moment, someone you miss, or a memory that hasn't crossed your mind in years can suddenly appear, because the brain loves quiet environments and the shower is one of the places where the brain talks to itself. In fact, this is also why some people find their best ideas in the shower.
Because when the brain relaxes, creativity increases. So, does taking a very long shower tire the brain? Yes, after a certain point, it can be tiring. Because while short showers generally have a refreshing effect on the brain, staying under hot water for too long can sometimes have the opposite effect. Especially showers with excessively hot water lasting more than 25 to 30 minutes can overly relax the body, lower blood pressure, and cause slight dizziness in the brain.
That's why some people feel exhausted after a long shower, because while the body relaxes, the energy system also slows down. Scientifically, showers lasting about 5 to 15 minutes are generally considered one of the most balanced durations for the brain. Especially warm water both calms the nervous system and does not tire the body.
But there is an important detail here, the timing of the shower, because the brain's response to a shower can vary depending on the time of day. For example, a morning shower tells the brain, we are waking up. Especially short showers with slightly cool water can increase dopamine and attention levels, so a morning shower can awaken the brain. But the night shower works differently. A warm shower taken at night balances body temperature and facilitates the brain's transition to sleep, because the brain perceives that shower as a signal that the day is over. Sometimes a person wants to shower not because they are really dirty, but because they are tired, because some fatigue is not in the muscles but in the mind. And sometimes the brain feels like it has restarted after staying underwater for a few minutes. Maybe that's why some people feel a bit better after taking a shower even on the hardest days of life. Because water is one of the oldest calming agents that the human brain has not forgotten for thousands of years.